Good morning, Prakhar. Good morning, Prakhar, Arya, Sadvika, Mansi, Aditya, Mayur. Good morning to all of you. Now I'm going to start my lesson very shortly. Good morning to all of you who are present. Saiva, good morning. Good morning to all of you. Today we are going to continue our lesson, the Ailing Planet. Okay, so we shall continue with this topic. This is a very relevant topic even in today's context, because the environment is getting polluted every day, every day. Prakhar, what's your request? What am I supposed to do? Good morning, Gauri, Srijal, Shraddha, Arya. Good morning, both Arya Singh as well as Arya Divedi. Alma, good morning. So, the Ailing Planet is a very relevant, lesson in the context of today. Nidhi, good morning. Salender, good morning. So, what we are going to learn today is something which is very relevant, and it's a transcending concern for each one of us, because global warming, deforestation, wildlife depletion, okay, and a host of other environmental issues are happening in all across the globe. Therefore, awareness is very much important. So let's learn from the lesson what the author has to say. Okay, so let's begin. Rajender, thank you. Good morning. Okay, now let's begin. Okay, so dear students, today we shall start from here. I suppose I have to start from Mr. Lester R. Brown. From there we're going to start. So far we have learned from our previous lesson that the earth is a living organism. Earth has its own metabolic need, like all of us have. Earth has its own metabolic need. The earth has been personified by the author, saying that if we personify the earth, if we come to know that earth has metabolic function like us human beings, in that case we shall take a softer stance on insofar as our treatment of the planet is concerned. Okay, we shall be kind towards our treatment towards the planet, and if we become kind towards our treatment towards the planet, only then we can reduce to a great extent environmental degradation that is going on. Okay, so the writer has initially the first few paragraphs he has discussed about the importance of green movement, how has green movement sensitized people all over the globe to take a holistic and ecological view of the environment. Okay, then he has gone on to describe the sustainable development. The sustainable development means the development that continues without disturbing need of the future generation. Okay, without disturbing the requirement of the future generation. Sustainable development means the development that goes on and on. Okay, the development which lasts for a long time. Okay, even for our future generation. That is what is sustainable development is all about. So how can sustainable development be ensured? Sustainable development can be ensured only when we take the holistic and ecological view of the entire planet. Understood? Like we should be sensitized, okay, about the growing, about the need of the planet, about the need to sustain the health of the planet, okay, because the lesson is ailing planet. The planet has been projected, the planet Earth has been projected to be in declining health. Therefore, if we want to ensure a good health of our planet Earth, then we've got to ensure that we become sympathetic towards our approach to our Mother Earth, as well as we must ensure that we make the judicious use of all natural resources, non-renewable resources. We must make judicious use of non-renewable resources, okay. So in order to be sensitized about that, the writer is saying we must ensure sustainable development, okay. So how can we ensure sustainable development? We can ensure sustainable development if we can make judicious use of our resources, so that some of the non-renewable resources are also kept aside for our future generation, and this is what is called sustainable development. Then the writer went on to give an instance from the zoo at Lusaka, Zambia, where he has shown in a cage there is a mirror there is a mirror in the cage, and there is no animal around, okay. Whenever you go to see the zoo, you can see your own image being reflected in the mirror. So what does the zoo authority want to highlight through this particular message? They want to highlight that human beings are the most dangerous animal on this planet, okay. They are responsible for the depletion of wildlife. Therefore, the zoo authorities wanted to deliver this message to human beings. Therefore, in the zoo at Lusaka in Zambia, inside the zoo there is no animal, only a mirror kept, okay. Only a mirror kept. Next, the writer said that there are so many species, okay, they are languishing in ignominious darkness, okay, in the forest, which have not been catalogued so far, okay. The official number of species, living species, is 1.4 million, but there are many more millions languishing unnamed in ignominious darkness in different parts of the world, okay. They have not been registered so far, okay. So human beings must learn to live in cooperation with other species of the earth, okay. They must learn to live parallel to other living organisms of the earth, okay. Not only do the human beings have the right to live on this planet earth, but also the plants, animals, every living organism has the equal right, like human beings, to live on this planet earth, okay. Now let's begin today's lesson. Now let's begin today's lesson. Kailani, Pravash, good morning. Okay, Mr. Lester R. Brown, in his thoughtful book, The Global Economic Prospect, points out that the Earth's principal biological systems are four. Which are the four principal biological systems of the Earth? They are fisheries, forests, grasslands and croplands, and they form the foundation of the global economic system. Okay, which are the four principal biological systems? They are the fisheries, forests, grasslands and croplands. Okay. In addition to supplying our food, these four systems provide virtually all the raw materials for industry except minerals and petroleum derived synthetics. In large areas of the world, human claims on these systems are reaching an unsustainable level, okay, because humans are consuming these resources more than what is required. Humans are consuming those natural resources more than they are supposed to do. Understood? That is why the human approach to these resources are not sustainable. Understood? A point where their productivity is being impaired. Understood? Their productivity is being disturbed. Why? Because humans are using, lavishly, okay, such resources. When this happens, fisheries collapse, forests disappear. Forests have already disappeared in most part of the world, you might be knowing, because of industrialization and commercial purpose. Grasslands are converted into barren wastelands. Grasslands will also give way to wastelands, and croplands deteriorate. Croplands deteriorate because of the low quality of fertility in the soil. Understood? Because of man-made activities. In a protein conscious and protein hungry world, overfishing is common every day. Overfishing, protein hungry world, they are taking fish on a regular basis. Therefore, overfishing is common every day. In poor countries, local forests are being decimated in order to procure firewood for cooking. In poor countries which cannot provide LPG gas connection to their household, to different houses, they are responsible for depleting the forest population, population. Why? Because they are using the trees for their firewood, okay, for cooking. In some places, firewood has become so expensive that what goes under the pot now costs more than what goes inside it. Okay, in some places firewood has become so costly, so expensive, that what they are cooking, okay, what they are cooking is less expensive than what they are using as a fuel for cooking. Understood? So in some places firewood has become so expensive that what goes under the pot now costs more than what goes inside it. Since the tropical forest is, in the words of Dr. Mayers, the powerhouse of evolution, several species of life face extinction as a result of its destruction. Several species of life face extinction, okay, because of its destruction, because of the destruction of the tropical forest, okay. Because if you do not facilitate a congenial environment for the flora and fauna, for different living species, then they cannot thrive, okay. They cannot thrive. You are taking away oxygen, you are taking away water, you are taking away sunlight. So it is giving rise to the depletion of many species, okay. So men are responsible for the extinction of wildlife, forest cover, and men are also responsible for the extinction of several species from the face of the earth. So Sahiba, humans' greed never gets fulfilled. Of course, this is human nature. It is human nature to aspire for more and more, okay, to hanker after more and more wealth, more and more demands. Therefore, it's very natural that human beings, are very much ambitious in nature. But we should be ambitious, but not over ambitious. Okay, we should not use things lavishly. We must use it for our need. Okay, we cannot afford to give in to luxury, okay, or the comforts, or kind of over excessive use of of different commodities. As a result, it is not distributed properly to other humans. Understood? So we must understand the need of such communities, such commodities, okay, for other people as well. Okay, and we are responsible not only for the sustenance of human population, but also for the population of entire flora, fauna, wildlife, okay, forest cover, so many things. Understood? So we must learn to live in coexistence. Understood? We must learn to live in coexistence. We must learn to live with one another, with all the living organisms of the earth. Only when we develop such holistic view, such ecological view, only then our problem can be minimized to a great extent. Okay. Now, it has been well said that forests precede mankind, deserts follow. Okay. Yes, because forests are existent in our society from long time ago. Okay, therefore forest long time before human beings came on this earth. Therefore forest precede mankind and deserts follow. So deserts follow because of man-made activity. Okay, while when the forest cover will be extinct, okay, then deserts have to follow. The world's ancient patrimony of tropical forests. Patrimony, dear students, patrimony refers to valued things possessed down from previous generations, that is heritage. Patrimony of tropical forest means these tropical forests have been handed down to us from previous generations. Okay, it has been in existence for a long period of time. So that is why the word patrimony has been used here. Okay, tropical forest means where there is a lot of rainfall. Okay, this is tropical forest. So patrimony of tropical forest is now eroding at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year, and the growing use of dung for burning deprives the soil of an important natural fertilizer. Okay, so and another fact is the growing use of dung for burning. Okay, growing use of dung for burning, okay, for fuel, you can say, deprives the soil of an important natural, because soil is not getting the dung. Okay, it's a fertilizer, very good fertilizer, which the soil is not getting because human beings are using the dung as a fuel. Okay, as fuel. Therefore the soil is being deprived of a natural fertilizer called dung. The World Bank estimates that a 5-fold increase in the rate of forest planting is needed to cope with the expected fuel wood demand in the year 2000. This story has been written long back, therefore some of the data has become old, of course, but still it is relevant. That is why CBSE has included this lesson for you. Okay. So what was the estimate of World Bank? The World Bank says that a 5-fold increase in the rate of forest planting, 5-fold increase, whatever rate of planting is going on now, 5 times more than this rate has to be done in order to make up for the loss of depletion of forest cover. Do you imagine? So now it might have gone to 10 times also. Okay, it might have gone 10 times more also. Okay, so this is the situation, this is the scenario. Okay, all across the globe now. Okay, forest cover is depleting, wildlife is depleting, global warming is coming up, and there are a lot of other environmental issues. James Spatt, the president of the World Resources Institute, said the other day, we were saying that we are losing the forests at an acre a second, but it is much closer to an acre and a half to a second. Okay, it might have grown much higher now. Okay, the rate of losing the forest cover. Okay, in the present scenario. Article 48A of the Constitution of India provides that the state shall endeavor, means state shall try to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forests and wildlife of the country. But dear students, as you know, it is there in the Constitution of India, but it is hardly followed actually. Okay, the follow-up mechanism of the Indian government is yet to be strong enough. Okay, to safeguard the environmental issues. Okay. But what causes endless anguish means anxiety or pain, is the fact that laws are never respected nor enforced in India. Laws are neither respected nor enforced in India. For instance, the Constitution says that casteism, untouchability and bonded labor shall be abolished. But they flourish shamelessly even after 44 years of the operation of the Constitution. Understood? The writer means to say that in the Constitution it is written that there should not be any casteism, there should not be any untouchability, there should not be any bonded labor. But still in some parts of India, especially in the remote part, you will find casteism, you will find untouchability, you can find still find, of course, the extent has gone down now, but still it's prevalent in many parts of the country: bonded labor, untouchability, casteism. Therefore, the writer means to say that laws are neither respected in India nor enforced in India. Okay, a recent report of our Parliament's Estimates Committee has highlighted the near catastrophic depletion of India's forests over the last 4 decades. Near catastrophic depletion. Can you imagine? The depletion, the forest cover depletion is, catastrophic. Catastrophic means disastrous. Disastrous depletion. Can you imagine? Disastrous depletion means, you can never imagine to what extent the forest cover has become depleted. In the last 4 decades, means in the last 40 years, India, according to reliable data, is losing its forest at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year. Large areas officially designated as forest land are already virtually treeless. Okay, are already virtually treeless. The actual loss of forests is estimated to be about 8 times the rate indicated by government statistics. Of course, okay, whatever the government quotes, okay, or whatever the government agency or statistics quote, the ground reality is much more than what the government statistics has to offer. Okay, it's always so. So you can see the man-made tragedies. Okay, it's sporadic. It has become sporadic now. Okay, man has tinkered with nature. Man has played with nature, and it is high time that the human beings, the people all across the globe, are sensitized about the environmental issues. And nowadays, in the last 10 years, of course, there was lot of progress made in this direction. Okay, lot of progress has been made in this direction. Okay, so we are hopeful that in the days ahead, people will be more sensitized, and they will take great care of the environment and make sure that such environmental degradation doesn't continue. Okay, now dear students, a common request from all. I have mailed it because I am unable to send it here. Please check. Okay, Prakhar, I will certainly go through your mail and will address your issue. Okay, in my next class. Probably let me find out read the content of your mail first, and then I will certainly resolve all your queries and issues. Bhagyasri, good morning. Okay, so let me check the time, dear students. Okay, I have some more time at my disposal, so let me continue. Okay, so a 3-year study using satellites and aerial photography conducted by the United Nations warns that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. Okay, environment has got degraded or deteriorated in many countries of the world. Okay, here it is said that in 88 countries investigated, all the countries were affected by environment deterioration. There can be no doubt that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. Okay, growth of human world population, dear students, is the main reason for the depletion of environment, for the degradation of environment. Okay, human population, it is a transcending concern for each one of us, how to curb human population, because population explosion is the contraceptive, okay, is the deterrent. Okay, human population is the deterrent on the way to our advancement, on the way to environment protection as well. Okay, it took mankind more than 1 million years to reach the first billion. That was the world population around the year 1800. By the year 1900, a 7 billion was added, and the 20th century has added another 3.7 billion. The present world population, this is of course the old data, is estimated at 5.7 billion. Every 4 days the world population increases by 1 million. So you can imagine the alarming rate of growth of population, which is a deterrent on the way to progress, on the way to safeguarding our environment. The more the population, the more the need, the more the demand, the more the exploitation of the environment. Okay, fertility falls as incomes rise. Fertility falls as incomes rise. Understood? Education spreads and health improves. These are the remedies. Fertility falls as income rise, as people earn more and more money, as they become more and more educated. Okay, this problem of overpopulation can be curbed. Okay, but not till the time when people become educated, they understand, they are made aware of the ill effects of overpopulation. Understood? So education spreads and health improves. Understood? As a result of low population. Understood? So thus development is the best contraceptive. Development is the best contraceptive. Okay, so how can you bring about development? Development can be brought about only when people start being educated, only when people start realizing the fact that overpopulation is the deterrent to our way to progress. Okay, so development is very much important. How can development take place? Development can take place only with the spread of education. Understood? But development itself may not be possible if the present increase in number continues. The rich get richer and the poor beget children, which condemns them to remain poor. The rich become richer, the poor become more poor. Okay, they give birth to more children because they think that the more the children, the more the food, the more the income they will bring for the family, they will generate for the family. So therefore there's a huge divide in the country, in the world, okay, between the rich and the poor. The divide between the rich and the poor has become much more wide, okay, because of illiteracy, because of the non-spread of education, okay, because of not being able to spread education. More children does not mean more workers, merely more people without work. More children does not mean more work. More children means no work or without work. More people means people without work. Okay, it is not suggested that human beings be treated like cattle and compulsorily sterilized. Okay, human beings should not be treated like cattle and should not be sterilized. Okay, but there is no alternative to voluntary family planning without introducing an element of coercion. An element of coercion or force is also required on the part of the government to restrict the family to maximum 2 children. Okay, so the writer is saying that we are human beings, we are not like cattle, so we cannot be sterilized. But of course, even though we cannot be sterilized because we are human beings, we can be sterilized, but it doesn't sound good, or it is not proper. Okay, therefore human beings need to understand the importance of family planning. The government has to exert or apply some kind of force. Okay, government has to come out with some plan or some policy where there is moderate amount of force involved, okay, to make people contain their family, okay, to not more than 2 children. Okay, therefore the writer is saying that family planning is required, okay, without introducing an element of coercion. There is no alternative to voluntary family planning without introducing an element of coercion. Means you cannot go for voluntary family planning without introducing some force on the people to contain their family, okay, to 2 children. Okay, the choice is really between control of population and perpetuation of poverty. The Choice is really between control of population and perpetuation of poverty. It means we have two choices. Either we've got to control our population, or else rate of poverty will keep on increasing. Understood? Therefore, we have two choices. Either we should control our population, or we have to face the music in terms of perpetuation or continuation of poverty. Okay, we've got to choose either of the two, and of course we've got to choose the first one, that is control of population, so that poverty can be reduced to a great extent. So what is required for the control of population? What is required is education. If the people are educated, if they are given access to education, if they are sensitized more and more, then only population explosion can be curbed to a great extent, resulting in less rate of poverty. Understood? So dear students, I shall continue today. Till this point it seems time is running out, but I have 5 minutes more to continue with you. So let me continue these few lines. Okay, let me continue these few lines. Okay, the population of India is estimated to be 920 million today. It is an old data, of course. Now it has gone up more than the entire populations of South Africa and South America put together. No one familiar with the conditions in India would doubt that the hope of the people would die in their hungry heartlands unless population control is given topmost priority. Dear students, population control should be given a topmost priority. Okay? Why? Because the rate of population is increasing at an alarming rate. Okay, so if there is no restriction in the spread of population, human population, then what will happen? The rate of poverty will increase manifold. Understood? Manifold. Already India has more population than the combined population of Africa and South America. Understood? Therefore, writer says that no one is familiar with the conditions in India. No one familiar with the conditions in India would doubt that the hope of the people would die in their hungry heartlands unless population control is given topmost priority. Okay? Because if there is more population, there will be more poverty. As a result, many people cannot attain their objective in life, cannot earn their living, cannot have access to education. So their dream will begin and end in their heartlands only, in their hungry heartlands only, because they will be very poor, okay, and they cannot fulfill their objectives in life. For the first time in human history, we see a transcending concern. Transcending concern means a concern which extends universally. Okay, a concern which is not of India alone, but of the entire globe. That is what is called transcending concern. The survival not just of the people, but of the planet. It is not the survival of just the people, but of the planet. Okay, we've got to make the planet conducive to living. Okay, otherwise it will result in the loss of not only not only the environment, but also the loss of human beings, because human beings also require a compatible climate to live, compatible temperature to live in this world. Okay, therefore we need to, it's high time we start taking ecological and holistic view of the environment. We have begun to take a holistic view of the very basis of our existence. The environmental problem does not necessarily signal our demise. It is our passport for the future. Okay, it is, environmental problem is not only a signal of our demise or death or degradation for the present time. It is a great challenge for the future generation as well. So if you do not take care of the present day scenario of the environment, then our future generation will be deprived of a healthy planet, okay, and a healthy environment to live. Therefore, if we continue to neglect our duty towards the earth, then not only are we affected but also our future generation. We've got to leave for our future generation a congenial environment for them to thrive, to live, to survive, to prosper. So which is possible only when we start taking an approach which is holistic in nature, which is ecological in nature, okay, which is eco-friendly in nature. We must ensure sustainable development so that our future generation is not deprived of the resources, okay, that we are using. Understood? Therefore, it is a transcending concern, and it is a concern not only for us but also for the future generation. The emerging new world vision has ushered in the era of responsibility. Is the emerging new world is suggesting us to assume responsibility in us. Okay, it's the era of responsibility. Wherever we were, whatever sphere of in whatever sphere we were, we must assume responsibility. It's the era of assuming responsibility for ourselves, for our environment. Okay, it is a holistic view, an ecological view, seeing the world as an integrated whole rather than a dissociated collection of parts. Okay, this particular planet is not only the planet belonging to India, it's a planet belonging to entire globe. Therefore, we must have an ecological and holistic view of the world. We must consider the planet as an integrated whole, not just an isolated collection of parts, not just not just European countries, Asian countries, African countries in isolation. No, we've got to all come together, get our act together, and adopt an integrated approach towards our treatment for the nature, for the Mother Earth. Only then we shall be successful in our endeavor to be kind towards nature, and only then we can approach a holistic and ecological view. Okay, we can adopt an holistic and ecological view of the earth. Okay, we must consider earth as an integrated whole, not as a planet in isolation. Understood? Only then we can do justice to our approach towards earth and can to a great extent minimize the effect of environmental degradation. So dear students, I will take leave at this moment. I have run out of time. It's over now. So dear students, we'll meet in our next class. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask me quickly, or else I shall wrap up. Do you have any doubt, dear students? If you have any doubt, you can text me your doubt quickly so that I can address them immediately. Okay, thank you all of you, Arya, Kailani, Shraddha, Mayur, Sadvika. I hope you have no doubt. If you have any doubt, you please write down on a piece of paper on your English notebook. You can forward me on WhatsApp, or you can ask me in my next class. Okay. In the meantime, whenever you are free, at your disposal, you write down the notes that I have already forwarded you from the poem, from the previous poem that I have taught you. Okay, some of you might have written, of course, and those who haven't written, please update your notebook. Okay, and I have also started writing the answer of this lesson. As and when it gets over, I shall certainly forward you the link. Okay, please keep your notebook up to date. Thank you so much, and we shall meet in the next class. Till then, bye bye and take care.